Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Noisy Neighbours podcast. Tuesday evening, we're doing the United pod. Christian, we've just done City. Do you feel any better or do you feel worse?
Worse, mate. But, we've got to do it, haven't we? We keep going. We
Yeah.
keep soldiering for it. I think the only good thing is, we're in it together, aren't we, mate? So,
Kinda, yeah.
used to be a bit one-sided, didn't it? I could just have a little silent laugh behind a WhatsApp messenger, but now we're both in the dumps.
Yeah, we've done the Liverpool episode. Let's move on to some real shite. We play in red, and that's about where the similarities end at the moment.
Yeah.
So, Christian, we did the watch along. Anybody that watched it, I hope you enjoyed it. We were all boozing, so sorry if we annoyed you. We all annoy each other, so it's probably relatable. There was 4 United fans there, me being one, my brother, City fan, Liam, best mate, Everton fan, and we were all on his sofa watching the game at his house. He was outnumbered. He kindly hosted. He thought it was the best idea ever. It became the worst idea ever. And then nearly became the best idea ever again. Right, okay, so United drew 2-2 with Everton, and it was, I think, the 70 minutes, the first 70 minutes, I'm being generous splitting it here because I could probably just go the whole 98, but the first 70 minutes is the worst 70 minutes under Ruben Amorim so far. Probably the worst 70 minutes this season, which, I've got to be honest, I didn't think that was possible to go worse than what we have seen already. And to that degree, we saw the very worst of them. I know it was a bit of a hectic one, but do you agree with me on that? Those 70 minutes, how fucking awful it was, Christian, and what
if it wasn't the worst, it was up there. And I think, the biggest thing, my takeaway from that game with United, and I think I said it during the watch along as well, I just think United have no ideas, and their lack of effort, passion, even giving a shit sometimes. It just seems like they accept the second best in almost every single match now from the start. It's just astonishing to believe you're watching Manchester United when you see them boys step out on the field. I tell you what, for some of you old lads as well that have seen the best of Man United teams, it must be in disbelief to watch the shower of shit that's going out there week after week now.
I totally agree. I think Saturday was we usually get a good amount of shite where it's like you get the individual fuck ups, you get the lack of effort, you sort of get it in waves, and they have the odd 5 minutes where the effort's worse, and then they have the odd 5 minutes where the errors are louder. On Saturday, it was just constant. It was constant for 70 minutes until all we can do is we get the goal, we get the free kick that he fucking spanks in, Fernandez, and then the game becomes chaotic, and that's when we have just a little bit of a chance. We need chaos in any game to actually have any joy, because we have no idea of what we're doing. You said it perfectly. And I just want to talk about the 2 goals very quickly. I don't want to waste any more time on that first 70 minutes. It was a fucking disgrace, and all of them should have been subbed at half-time. I know that's physically impossible, but I'm just meaning theoretically, all 11 were a fucking disgrace to the shirt, to the fans that travelled, to the fans that watched on TV. Awful, and they don't represent Man United, and they should all be gone in the summer, in my opinion. However, I want to touch on the 2 goals, and there's someone that's actually got away with it a little bit on this podcast. Andre Onana, I really want to get into him and how awful he is. The first goal, right, I stopped playing Sunday League 9 years ago, and we would have been at each other's throats after the game if we conceded a goal like that at Sunday League level. It was a joke. It was how many times they're actually challenging each other for headers, so they can't fully clear it. Then they can't clear it. They're turning the back. They're switching off. They're playing people on side. It is just...
Alex, you know what it reminded me of? Do you know when... you said Sunday League, you are right, to be fair. I'm probably giving him a bit more of a compliment saying what I'm about to say. But when you see the first FA Cup rounds and they're on ITV and it's at some mad ground that you've never seen before, looks like it's a car park, and the crowd are all behind it, it's fucking chaos, the ball's up in the air, it's going all over the show. It felt like that, and it's like, why are none of them taking accountability? I agree with you, Onana is just absolute dog shit, by the way. He needs to be moved on in the summer. How many more chances can you give the guy? He's had more lives than a cat, that lad. But the thing is, why do the defenders have no fucking leadership? Why are none of them in the box and being decisive? They all, which again, I will actually go on to with the penalty or non-pen. We'll talk about that. I know me and you disagreed, but I'd like to go on to it not just from the decision point of view, but again, the decision making by your back line is just fucking abysmal.
I mean, this is a thing as well, which I can't believe with a player like Harry Maguire and Matthias de Ligt, who are meant to be two massive fucking bruising centre halves and can't head the fucking ball away. I know Harry Maguire's shit. I know he can't run, and I know he's no pace, and I know he's getting slower, and I know he's getting worse. One thing you always thought you could count on him is that he lands his big fucking head on the ball and heads it 20 yards out, and we push us up. He is a fucking shambles on every set piece. Every time we get a set piece, we look like we're going to concede. Combination of, you just touched on it, the defenders and the fucking goalkeeper. And you've got other idiots like Dallo turning his back, not concentrating, playing people onside every single time. I am sick of this defence and goalkeeper. They all need to go. All of them need to go this summer. I don't care. And if they don't go, don't play them.
I was just going to ask you on that. So, I mean, I know we agree on most of the defence, all of it, to be fair. There is one name in that, de Ligt, and you even mentioned mid-game, and you was like, is he fucking any good? And, genuinely, now you've had a little bit of time to cool off him. I'm guessing I know the answer because of what you just said. Do you not see him as that he's got any? Do you think he deserves another go next year to possibly get someone good in next to him that maybe can calm him down?
I always think that players' recent history weighs a little bit when you grade a player. Now, coming into this club, Matthias de Ligt has been moved on by two good clubs in Juventus and Bayern Munich. Mazraoui's been okay from Bayern. I don't know the history of that. I don't know why they wanted him out, but he's not exactly setting the world right now. We've dragged him down to our level. Matthias de Ligt. The thing is with de Ligt that I don't get, that I don't understand is that it's like, why are two clubs moving him on? So I was already a bit like that in the summer, but I did like him at Ajax. I thought he was a great leader, 21-year-old captain at Ajax, led them to an amazing Champions League run. But then the rest of the team was class. Sometimes, I mean, fucking, do you know who the manager of that club was? It was Ten Hag. So that shows you how good the players were, that they were probably managing themselves. Matthias de Ligt is the João Felix of centre-backs, in my opinion. And
it's a very, very good show. That is a very good show.
You know what I mean by that, and I hope everyone watching this knows what I mean by that.
Yeah.
He is...
It's a name, but
nobody sees him have a good game. Nobody actually knows if he's good.
Yeah.
Big clubs keep taking chances on him, and we're just the third one in the line that has took a chance on him. I don't think he's very good now. I think he's a bit of a lummox.
I honestly think that's the best analogy on that guy.
So that's him. Maguire, just atrocious. Should just not be playing for this club. I know they've extended that year. What the fuck are they thinking? I mean, I don't even know. And look, we are getting to the point now on these players that I get there's pressure for Amorim to pick up points where we can, but you cannot be going into. I'll let you off this season. And look, we saw Chido Obi got chucked in, the poor lad, and he looked nervous. He looked overwhelmed a little bit. Albeit, I thought he put himself about more than fucking. I'm not even going to mention his name, number 9. But I just look at some of the young lads. We signed a guy called Aidan Heaven from Arsenal, who's I think 17, 18, and I think, you know what? Yeah. I don't want to play Maguire. I don't even want to watch Maguire. But I also just worry about these young lads coming into this environment, and I don't know whether that's the right thing either. So I'm a little bit split at the moment. However, he has got to now go with Lenny Yoro. And just to the system point, because he plays 3-4-3, he almost has to play Maguire because he's got to play 3 centre-backs. Do you know what I'm saying? Unless he can get Mazraoui, Yoro and de Ligt to just see the season out, he should be going to a back 4 just to not play Maguire. That is, forget everything else with the 3-4-3. Just change the system so you don't have to play Maguire. But the second goal, Christian, I want to get into this, right? So the second goal, all people will be remembering is this useless goalkeeper parrying it straight back and not coming up and catching it, which we will get to. First domino to fall in this whole thing. Everton have it in an area that is not dangerous. The first one, Captain Fantastic, half sprints out to him, sells himself completely. The Everton player, forgive me, I can't remember the guy's name, completely bypasses the Bruno Fernandes press. Then he plays it to a guy. Don't know who it was, sorry. Then the ball is Maguire's in line with, is it Beto, the first guy? I think it might be Beto. Maguire's in line with Beto. And what does Maguire do? He runs towards the ball So the ball goes in behind and Beto is basically clean through. I think somebody gains a bit of ground. It's a shit shot. Onana pushing it straight back. It goes straight up into the air. What does Onana do? He doesn't stand up and catch it. He doesn't stand up and challenge it. He stands up and runs back to his line. Doucouré comes in and heads it into an empty net. Now, it just completely epitomised the issues with this team, where you've got the weak press, you've got the stupid decision-making from Maguire, where he's not got the pace to press high, and then you've got the awful goalkeeping from Onana. And this is the spine of the team, Christian. Onana, Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, three of them in one goal. Anybody listens to this, go and watch the goal back. Watch the three dominoes. Watch the idiots in this team. And we're going to see it. We're going to see it every game now. This ain't going to get better, Christian. Do you know what I mean? Honestly.
Yeah, Alex, mate. I mean, we spoke about Bruno's decision making. I saw something in the game as well, and this is what happens with this guy. He has these moments, and these moments have bailed him out of quite a mediocre career. Well, a very mediocre career, because his general play is mediocre. And I tell you what, at times, if you was watching just the Everton game, mediocre is a fucking compliment. Because sometimes his general play is absolutely shocking. I tell you what, I saw this thing with Warnock, me and you both piss ourselves at some of the clips from that guy. And he said he'd fine every player that passed it to Rapt in his own half. He'd fine him like £1,000 or something daft. I can't remember. Halfway through that game, I was like, you know what? You guys should be doing the same thing with Bruno most of the time. Yeah. Because he's exact same. He's an idiot. When he tried to roll that guy, and it's in between the box and the halfway line, and they had so many men over, I'm like, it was never on. I literally screamed, it was never on. Why is he doing daft shit like this? And I tell you what, Alex, if you go through your team, I'll ask you this. You just asked me on the City pod, and you said, what do you need to get to be challenging again? Now, Man United are that far away that you are nearer the relegation zone than you are the top. So, I mean, asking you a question like that now, saying, what do you need to challenge? I just think it's unrealistic, because the amount of money you would have to spend, the rules won't permit it. So I'll ask you a question. What do you think is realistic, and how many positions would you genuinely replace? Do you think there's anyone within that squad, other than the winger we know that is injured at the moment in Ahmad? Do you think there's anyone at all that you can build around?
Honestly, no.
Which is just like a fucking scathing review.
I think Patrick Dorgu has shown good moments. I think he's got good athleticism. I think there might be more to come from him. But the history of this club, Christian, we will pull Patrick Dorgu down to being god-awful in 5 weeks.
And spitting him out.
And this is what's going to happen. Mesraoui started really well. He's now shit. This is what we do. We drag him down. Kobe Mainoo was one of the best players that have come out of the academy. And this year, he's been fucking bang average. Outlook, fair play to Amad Diallo. He has stood above the rest. He is now out for the season, obviously, because, we decided to flog everyone in Jan and then rest all our season on him, and he's gone.
Alex, what do you think that is? Because I couldn't agree with you more, by the way. It's like the infamous thing we've always said. If you sign Messi, he'd have a shit year. Like, what is the thing at United? What happens?
I am so glad that Amad Diallo has stood up and had a reasonably good season, because it does just prove to me that if you've got the right mentality and you've got the right... It is possible that the blame in this club and the fan base, we get a lot of the fucking blame. It's not true, and we have never been this bad. This is new depths. We have come second. We've come second a couple of times post Fergie. People think that it's been 6th, 8th, 10th, 15th. It's not. It's not been. We have had good seasons. We have come second. Look, I'm not celebrating this, by the way, but I'm just making a point that we don't sign this. It gets labelled. You just said it there perfectly. Everything. We keep bringing. I just said it on Patrick Dorgu. Now I am talking within the last 3 years. The problem is these last 3 years is that the players that are being signed aren't good enough to play for Man United, so they are collapsing under the pressure. The players that we've signed in the past that quote unquote aren't good to win a league, okay? So you might say Pogba, you might say Martial, you might say Lukaku, you might say like a Maguire, a Lindelof, those types of players. They did turn up for seasons. People forget that. People think that Maguire's have been absolutely fucking shite. I tell you what, when we came second and he got injured for the Europa League final, United fan base was in tears on Twitter because Maguire was missing. And he went to the Euros that summer and he was one of the best defenders at the tournament, and we should have won.
I remember.
We should have won it. So this is a recent thing, but you are right. And the reason you're right is because they've got the mentality of players like Diego Forlan, who are crumbling under the shirt and they're not very good. It's an awful combination. So you've got weak mentality, not good at football. That's why we're in this mess. I'm not surprised. I've said it for ages. This has caught up now. The recruitment has caught up, and you keep shifting players out the door. We had it out on Saturday where we were listing players that would start for us now, jokingly. And, well, not jokingly, some of them still would. And fucking hell, Pogba might be back soon. But we're moving players on that they go, well, they're not good enough to win a league with. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I totally agree. And I love some of these players. I loved Martial, Rashford, Greenwood. I loved that front three. But yeah, deep down, did I think they could win a league with that? No, I totally agree with that. However, you sell all three and replace it with this three. Just while we're on the front three, can I just read you something? I know we're going to get into sort of Rasmus Højlund's 70-minute cardio that we got in on Saturday. Didn't do anything else again. This is our front three, and this is our front three that's available right now in the league, Christian. Garnacho, Xerxes and Højlund. Garnacho, 25 games, 3 goals, 1 assist. Xerxes, 26 games, 3 goals, 1 assist. Højlund, 21 games, 2 goals, 0 assists. The front three for Man United has got 10 goals and assists in 72 games. 72 appearances between the three of them. We've got 10 goals and assists. And this is the front three that people talk about. I wouldn't have sold one of them for 50 mil. This is what some United fans think. Don't sell Garnacho for 50 mil. Give Højlund time. He needs service. Xerxes, there's a player in there. They've got 10 goals and assists in 70 plus appearances as a trio. Stop this fucking bullshit. We are 15th for a reason. That front three is a bottom half front three, and I'm being generous. Some of them aren't even Prem. So,
Alex, mate, it is the point on that, right? So we were talking before about me moaning with City because my club is championing these players that have taken us away from titles, but at least they're still possibly top 4 level. Yeah. United, on the other hand, have gone so far down the list that your top 3, people are championing them. And they look like championship players. And I think the difference for me, I'm frustrated about the top 4 thing. I can't imagine how pissed off you are that there's some fans in your fan base that are going, no, hang on, there's a player there. No, there's not. They're all shit. We can all watch football.
Because, Christian, a lot of the same fans, some of my friends used to have a go at me. You know, I had a special place in my heart for Anthony Martial. Yes, I know it's not worked out. However, I used to get took the piss out of. You've took the piss out of me. My friends have took the piss out of me. But at least you're a City fan. At least you do see top quality and have seen league-winning teams. Some of my friends have a go at me about Martial. Do you know the point I'm making?
I know what you mean in comparison to what you've got now. I mean, but mate, you even mentioned Lukaku. Lukaku would probably be your best player now.
Of course he would. You
know what I mean? And we took the piss out of so many of these guys that have come to United and gone on to other things. They're in different leagues to what you've got now. Yeah. Look at Angel Di Maria, for instance. He would still be your best player now. He's nearly coming to the end of his fucking career, man.
Yeah. That's the thing as well. What we've got at the moment, Christian, is a very unique situation. Is though in the past when we've flogged players, we have had a player better, or we have in the squad. So flogged Sanchez because we had Rashford or Martial, who then had a good season for Ollie. Pushed out Lukaku because we had Rashford and Martial and Greenwood, and they had a good season. Now what we're doing is we're selling players that right now, so let's use Rashford for example at Villa. He would start over Garnacho at United. Martial at Athens would start over Højlund for Man United. Anthony at Betis would start over Xerxes for Man United. These are transactions. Rashford, Anthony, Martial have left this club. 2 of them in the last month, 1 of them last summer for free. Them 3 would start over this front 3 right now. And not one United fan can argue with me on that because they've got 10 goals and assists between them. And we are nearly in March. Don't talk to me about service. Don't even mention service to me with Rasmus Højlund because Aaron Wan-Bissaka, a right back that this club sold for being shit on the ball, has got 2 goals this season. Is Aaron Wan-Bissaka getting better service than Rasmus Højlund? Don't talk fucking shit. I'm being serious now. You're taking the piss. 2 goals is a joke. Mikel Merino scored 2 goals the other week in 5 minutes at Leicester. 2 goals is pathetic. If Højlund was on 9 or 8, I would go, okay, let's look at the rest of the team because the service is shit. I'm not denying that. But you saying, do not be using that as the defence of Højlund. 2 goals is pathetic, and he needs to be ashamed. Someone needs to sit down with Højlund and go, the biggest thing I can say to you right now, Rasmus, is that Weghorst will be an improvement. And I'm not even fucking bullshitting you, mate. Because if Weghorst was at this club right now, people will be all over him for having 2 goals in March. But there's people out there who think Højlund's good. There's people close to me who think Højlund's good. You saw a couple of them on the watch-along on Saturday who said that I'm being harsh on Højlund, or that he's better than Darwin Núñez, or all these other intangibles.
For having, mate, I'll tell you what, for having fucking standards, he's not being harsh. No. And I'll tell you what, it's not like you're being... It's not like a controversial opinion what you're saying. The guy has 2 goals and we're coming to the end of the fucking season, man. Yeah. This is not a controversial opinion. I tell you what, if he wasn't the age he was and he had a name like Weghorst, everyone would be laughing and taking the piss and saying we need to send him back and he needs to go to League One. But because it's Højlund, you paid a shit ton of money because they had your pants down, you've got to try and convince yourselves that you didn't get done over by Atalanta. You did. You've got to just move on. You've got to try and shift him on in the summer. He's not, mate, what is the point in trying again? What are you going to do in the summer then? Are you going to go and try... Seriously, do some United fans think then, if you go and sign Florian Wirtz, I know this is not going to happen, right? Say you did... Well, then again, United are a bit mental. You never know what they're going to do. But say you went and signed Wirtz, right?
Yeah.
What then? Do they think that Højlund's going to become like a 20-goal Prem... Like a 20 Prem goal striker? Is that what they're then saying? Because if they genuinely do, they're fucking mental. Like, you need to watch the guy's ability. But dude, we do go on about him maybe a bit too much. But the thing is, if all you're watching every week is the same shit, what else can we do? We can only go off the front 3 that ultimately is playing for Manchester United, and it is absolutely miles off. It is championship level.
I said it about the service. I tell you what, if you are screaming through a megaphone every 15 seconds that you want to sell the other 6 supporting cast, I will give you a little bit. The problem I've got is with the people who go, Højlund needs service, but then also says, don't sell Garnacho, don't sell Ahmad, don't sell Mania. Fernandes. Where would we be without Fernandes? Those people really fuck me off. Because you cannot have this both ways. Because this supporting cast is worse than Southampton's, is what you're telling me. Yeah. You're telling me it's worse than So, anyway, let's fucking forget number 9. I really just hope he goes in the summer or wherever, and we sign a striker who can score goals. I'm sick of it. He's got 2 goals in March. We don't need to say anymore. Do you know what I'm saying?
Where would you say, Alex, so I know what I was trying to say before, but it is a difficult answer because you do technically need to replace everyone pretty much. Who would you say realistically? We all know how football works. We know you're not going to go out and sign 11 new starters in the summer. Where would you say is your most important positions to go and sign?
3 forwards, 3 attackers, number 10 striker, left winger, whatever combination of that is. Go and get some guys that can score goals. This is pathetic. I will roll with fucking Ugarte and whoever else in centre mid. I don't care. Just get someone in on loan in centre mid. They're fucking free. Go and sign 3 players that can score and create fucking goals for this team. Because I've seen it. We've seen it before. An amazing attack. And I'm not saying we are going to be able to have that because they'll probably fuck three signings up knowing the recruitment of this club. But I'm just saying, when Luis Suarez and Sturridge and Sterling and Coutinho went berserk, they nearly won a league with John Flanagan starting right back and Jordan Henderson and Gerrard in 4-4-2. So just that's what I'm saying is that you could...
History tells us, Alex. History tells us where the important positions are. We all know it. Look at Leicester, for fuck's sake. What defence did they have? Danny Simpson.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Who was that? Who was the whole defence there? Was Danny Simpson?
Robert Huth, Danny Simpson, Wes Morgan, and Fuchs.
Wes Morgan, that's who I can think of. Yeah, mate, honestly. Right. And you think they won a league with it? I mean, they won a league because they had Mahrez, Vardy, Kante.
Go and get, you know what, even just for enjoyment for me and the fans, just go and get... I was just going
to say this, Alex. This is huge.
70 goals. Yeah.
I think this is what you need. I think your fans need an uplift. You have had years of shit, to be fair, and I think you need to go out and sign some exciting players. You need a bit of the spirit back. You need to get some excitement back at Old Trafford, because at the minute, I tell you what, there's grumblings from the first minute, because you just know what you're getting. I think you need to go and get some exciting players. At least even if you had that style of football that, don't get me wrong, I know people can come for me on this, but if you had that kind of, not... I won't say Tottenham style play in terms of like now,
Mm.
but when they first started out and it was a bit gun ho, and
Yeah.
yes, they were conceding, but it was exciting at the other end. Mate,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
that is a massive improvement for
Yeah,
United right
no,
now.
I
And I
agree, mate.
genuinely think in a couple of years of transitioning, I'd
Mm.
sort that end out first, get some sort of spirit and excitement back within the club, then start
Yeah.
to build in other areas.
Yeah. No, just go and get Victor Osimhen and Matthias Cunha in the summer.
That's the
They,
signing. That's the
they,
signing for me. That or Guy Carrez. It's one or the other. You've
they've
got to
got
get him.
goals. They've got pedigree. Look, I don't know whether they're going to work out, and I don't know if there's better people out there. I really think Cunha in that supporting striker role would be fucking amazing for us, and he's at Wolves.
Yeah,
Let's
baller.
hope we can still
Release
have whatever
clause as well.
release clause. What pull have we got left? I don't know. But like you said, maybe we've got a little bit of juice left in that. Yeah, I mean, just on the academy, I did felt a little bit sorry for Chido Obi Martin who came in for Hoyland. However, I do just want to give him a little bit of a shout out that I thought he put himself about. He won a flick on that went to Xerxes, who should have found Garnacho. Which was I think at 2-2 as well. So it was a good bit of play from him. He looked very nervous, and it's a huge step up for him. I don't know what he's going to be like. Similar to my theory of dropping Maguire. I would just run Hoyland into the ground to the end of the season because we've got nobody else, and just protect him a little bit and give him half an hour here and there because. Look, he lost it. We saw the touch. Chido's touch was loose, and he was a bit scratchy. However, he put himself about. He won more duels than Hoyland. He's definitely better in the air than Hoyland. And look, you never know. He might get a ball in the box and score. So I would protect him with 20-minute cameos. I wouldn't start him tomorrow, which I know the fan base wants to see. I just wouldn't do it personally. What do you think?
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because do I think he'll do a better job than Hoyland? Yeah, but do you also think it could be possibly detrimental to his development? Then yes. So it's a bit of a. I know where you're coming from. Yeah. I think I've seen just that much of Hoyland's dog shit. I'd be tempted to probably play him. But in terms of, I do know what you're alluding to, and yeah, is it the best thing to throw him into the Lions' Den right now when this season is an absolute fucking write-off anyway? And mate, there's a no-win situation.
I was just going to say that, Christian.
Because even if you scrap, say he scores, right? Say he scores and you scrap 1-0, you still get cooked on social media by everyone anyway. And everyone's still saying you're in a mess. So, yeah I just think you possibly are right. Protect him, especially if you do think there's a player there and you think there's something for the future.
I haven't watched him, I must admit, so I've got to give... probably got to just give him a little bit of whatever time. I don't know. I don't really know. I think he's got to go back to the under-21s and just to play some minutes there and continue doing what he's doing. It obviously
fair
knows
play
what
to these lads as well. Just a little shout out on them because they are coming in and listen, coming in as a young player to any team is difficult.
Yeah.
However, when you're coming into Manchester United, is that a little bit more difficult because you've got that many more eyes on you? However, we're talking about back in the day that was hard. When you had Fergie, you had great teams. Mate, coming in now, and there's a lot of eyes, and they're all just watching to potentially laugh at you. That is even harder. And I think fair play, they're coming on, they put themselves about. That's all you can ask. If they put some effort in, it's more than some of them boys that are wearing the shirt currently doing. So, big up,
Totally agree. And just on that, I really hope Toby Collier's back so I don't have to see the corpse of Casemiro on 350 grand a week. The biggest thing I took away from Saturday is when he got subbed. I said it on the watch along. Has he been playing? I could not believe Casemiro had been on the fucking pitch. Just a joke. Another awful signing. 70 mil.
That as well? You see that as well? It's him saying he's happy to see out his contract. Like I said on Saturday, I bet he fucking is.
Bet he is filling his fucking face all through summer.
Even the Saudi lot aren't daft enough to touch him, and I think that says it all with him.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, I just want to finish up with the sort of squad, and then we'll get into the VAR chaos that we disagree on. I just want to mention something, right? 2022-2023 season was Ten Hag's first season. Manchester United finished 8 points above Liverpool that season, and I haven't got the intangibles there. I don't know if Liverpool had an injury crisis. I can't really remember. It was Ten Hag's first year where we were quite pragmatic. Casemiro, Eriksen, Fred worked quite well for the most part. And we got by on a bit of Rashford chaos after the Qatar World Cup. And And then it obviously went to a bit of shit towards the end of the season, and Martinez broke his foot, and it all derailed after that, and we never got back on track. And then, I just want to say something actually, because I've been hearing this a lot with Amorim, and I know we've missed Amorim out tonight a little bit, just because the players were that shit. I don't know what Amorim could have done, but I do want to just mention something, and I heard it on the overlap, that everybody was annoyed at Ten Hag for changing his style of play to accommodate the players. Do you know what people are missing there? Ten Hag changed the first season after Brentford away. After 2 games, we were 4-0 down, and he changed his philosophy for that first season. We actually came third that year. Do you know when Ten Hag actually went with his philosophy? That was the next season with Mount, Fernandes and Casemiro. So when people are talking about, you all wanted Ten Hag to get sacked because he changed his philosophy. No, that was Ten Hag's philosophy. The one that worked well wasn't. So just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, back to the end of that season. Manchester United finished 8 points above. It looks like they're going to be the champions in a God knows 6-7 games. Probably you said it. It's not even a race. So we could probably say the champions elect Liverpool are. We finished 8 points above them in the 2022-2023 season. 2 years ago, Manchester United were 8 points above Liverpool. I just want to talk about the signings since then. That summer. Do you want to do the signings that summer? We don't even have to do the fucking shite that Ineos roped in this summer. Let's just go with Ten Hag's second summer, because I really fucking hate this one. But I want to talk about Liverpool, right? Onana.
It's the Mason Mount one, isn't it?
It is the Mason Mount one, but I want to talk about Liverpool as well. Right, okay, so we're 8 points above Liverpool at this point. Going into the off-season, Onana 50 mil, De Gea out the door. Mount 60 mil. Højlund 72 mil. That's what United spent. Do you want to know what Liverpool did? McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai in the same window. Liverpool starting midfield. Probably the best midfield in the league, I would say, which is a weird one because Szoboszlai is not really a number 10, but it fucking works. Whatever they're doing with it works. McAllister's class, we saw that at the World Cup, and Gravenberch has become fucking Kante overnight. I don't know what's gone on there. And we got Onana, awful. De Gea would be better now, and I thought De Gea had to go. Mason Mount, just the worst, probably the worst United signing of all time, closely followed by Mr. Cardio, who turns up every Saturday and does about 70 minutes of running round. We actually spent more than them that summer.
Yeah.
We actually spent more than them.
And if you look at that, Alex, I know people could look at this now and go, look, hindsight's a wonderful thing. No, but even if you look at that at the time, anyone with a brain cell would have gone, that is not good what Manchester United are doing. I mean, Onana, I'll give you that. It is a bit unlucky because, to be fair, he catfished everyone with that performance against City. Like, we were all like, what the fuck? He looks unbelievable. So, to be fair, you can let that one go, in all honesty. Of all the shit things he did do, I think you can let him off that. But however, Mason, you still got to mention it. At the end of the day, listen, mate, me and you are casual guys. We watch football. We watch these big games. We are not paid to scout these guys 365 days a year. There are guys at Manchester United that are getting paid a fucking fortune, or they should be, that are going watching that guy week in, week out. So if they haven't noticed, and also, do you know what? I did go and do something, Alex, the other week, because you said it on a pod. I think you said it on a pod or a live, and you said there was some highlights from him when he was at Ajax. So I actually went and watched a YouTube clip, and you fucking spot on. And this is the thing. This just goes to show with United, the lack of preparation in the transfer market. It does stink of, they'd watched that Champions League game, and they just thought, go on, that's his value. Dude, that's not how football works. You've got to obviously have watched the guy, done your proper work scouting him. And it feels like United don't do it. The Mason Mount one, let's not even go there. Me and you were talking at the time, and we were like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. We all know Mason Mount's level, and we know it's dog shit.
It makes me feel sick.
That was never working.
Yeah, it makes me feel sick, that one. I suppose Højlund is a bit of the unknown, but still, like I've said this to you about fucking Lenny Yoro and 60 mil and God knows all these other risky buys that we do. If you're spending 72 million on a striker, for fuck's sake, go and get someone proven. Go and get someone you know's good. Don't be attaching risk to it. And look what's happened. There was risk attached. He's got 2 goals and we're nearly in March. There's awful signing. Obviously, he can't score goals. Mason Mount, just shocking. And to top it all off, he can't even get fit. And Onana can't come out off his line, can't save, can't catch. So in the same summer, Liverpool replaced Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Henderson in one summer. They've won the league 2 years later, and fuck knows they could be going on to win another Champions League. And I just want to talk about the recruitment and how people might look at Liverpool now and go, fucking hell, they're good. They're a good side, Liverpool. Yeah, well, we spent more than them, and we finished 8 points above them 2 years ago. So, and even just the fucking cherry on top of the cake, guess which manager had Ryan Gravenberch?
I know, mate, I know.
Old baldy bollocks, Ten Hag.
Wait, mate, we've said it. The only good players that have turned out from that fucking Ajax side are the only ones he didn't fucking sign.
I honestly
he is an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. As if, of all the ones, he didn't go and sign Gravenberch and Timber, who actually look fucking brilliant. He's an idiot.
He is.
But, mate, there's something else. There's something else, Alex, just on that. So, you know what's more sickening if you're a Man United fan and you're reading what you've just read there of them players that Liverpool picked up for very good values, by the way. I mean, McAllister was that was a lot lower than people think, wasn't it? Like 35 mil.
It was in the 30s. Yeah, I think it was mad. But I think there was add-ons. But even with add-ons, McAllister's fucking class.
He's worth it anyway. But when you look at this and you're a Manchester United fan, you know what's the most sickening thing about it is you still have an insane pull. At the moment, I've got to say this, and it's no dig for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess it's a player's looking at it that it just guarantees you over 1 million Instagram subscribers because it feels that way sometimes at a very big wage packet. Because at the minute, I don't understand the pull. However, you do have it, and these players were available and would have come to United. It just goes to show more evidence of Man United's poor transfer scouting. Whoever you've got up, in the boardroom that's doing this business, it's just, mate, it's shocking all over.
Christian, it is sort of a thing, though, isn't it? Where people will look at it, and I text people last year. I said it to you about Szoboszlai last year. I watched him, and I went, really good midfielder. That very high IQ, amazing work rate, pretty good on the ball, good ball striker. And you know what the thing is, right? Coming into the season, Slot said, I'm going to play him number 10 because he's going to help out with the press, and we're going to be ruthless in moments. And I actually think there's more to come statistic-wise with Szoboszlai. God, that was a mouthful. And you know what's turned out? Coming into this season, I bet if you'd have asked 100% of top Reds, they would not have swapped Bruno Fernandes for Szoboszlai, and they're effectively both number 10s now. Look at what Szoboszlai does for that team.
You know the funny thing is that does sum up the fan base. If you still ask them now, they still wouldn't.
You're right. But yeah, look, I just wanted to mention that. We don't even have to get into the fucking Divs Are Us summer that we just had, where people think that was good as well. But look, here we are. We went and gaffed. Liverpool didn't. Liverpool going to win the league, might fucking win another Champions League. And I really want all the United fans to look at this. Liverpool are now equalled our titles in 20. If they go and win another Champions League, they'll go one further. God, they're fucking miles ahead of us in Champions Leagues anyway. But yeah, look, it's how important the recruitment is, and if you get it right, they replaced their full midfield. You know what's even funnier, really? They flogged Fabinho, and we went and got Casemiro in the same fucking time span.
You might as well just gone and got Fabinho.
Yeah, I know. His legs were going, but at least he had Prem experience. Yeah. So before we wrap up, let's get into it. I know you're ready to go. The VAR big decision on the weekend. It was a very, very funny moment on the watch along. Please, if you're watching this, go and have a look. It's brilliant. My brother and Liam were obviously cheering on the decision. The four Reds, me being one, were absolutely devastated, and then this has really split opinions, and it still has. And I must admit that some people on Sky and Dermot Gallagher, who does the refs watch, said it should not have been overturned. And I think at the time I said, when I watched it back, my first reaction was, it's soft, but I don't think it'll get overturned. That was my first reaction. And to be honest, I haven't really changed my opinion on that, as in like what I actually think of the incident. I do think that if it had stood, I don't think I would have been more annoyed at the ref than VAR, if that makes sense. However, VAR intervened and said, go and have a look at the monitor.
Would you not have pinned any of the blame on the defender, though, in that situation?
I just want to list what I think. This is what I think is correct in the incident. I think De Ligt is stupid. I think that Ashley Young goes down after the contact theatrically. if I can't use the word dive, I think I'm putting it pretty generously with a player that's got history. And I also think that VAR might have shown the referee the wrong angle, potentially. From what I've seen on reflection, I think they showed him the Maguire touch on the hip, which I don't think is a foul. The foul is de Ligt if it's a foul. Now, what I want to say on this is, right, there was an incident at the weekend. Have you seen it with Cucurella against Villa?
I've not, no.
Okay. So if I can put it on the video, I will. We have problems with copyright with any sort of clips from games. Cucurella pulls a Villa player down in the box with his shoulder. The Villa player falls backwards, which is the normal procedure when you pull someone back. De Ligt pulls Ashley Young's shirt twice. I will say twice. I saw it again. It is twice. De Ligt lets go. Ashley Young gets sniped in the head. The legs go up. The classics, Tom Daly. I've seen it. Ashley Young played for my club. I know what this guy does. Yeah. You get the swan dive. You get the theatrics. Okay, right, done. Okay, so then referee gives the penalty kick, right? Now, this is where I think that there's probably some sort of foul in there from De Ligt. However, if you want to give the penalty, you are in some way advocating diving, because that's what Ashley Young does. He dives. The contact lets go and he goes up and he gets sniped in the head. I am never going to advocate. If that was the other way around, that's Bruno Fernandes, I'd probably go, look, I want the pen, but that is pretty disgraceful from Bruno Fernandes to do that, to go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think if the play plays out, and Ashley Young tries to get there, and look, the contact's not enough to go down. I think we agree on that, whether you might think it's a penalty or not. It's not enough to go down. If you go down, Ashley Young would have fell back towards De Ligt. He didn't. He fell up in the air with the legs. Now, I don't think it's a penalty because of the theatrics. But, I mean, look, obviously there's split opinion. I think I know which way you're going to go on it. But I would just say you and Liam did change your opinion on Saturday. What was it that went from... because initially you were like, not a pen, but VAR shouldn't have overturned it. I think now it is a pen and they shouldn't have overturned it. Is that right?
Yeah, to be fair, when I saw more angles of it, I felt a bit harsh. I mean, I had no dog in the fight. I really don't. I know I was laughing at the time. It was more just because I was drunk and it was kind of funny winding everyone up. But honestly, looking at it back, I genuinely do think it is a bit harsh on Everton. Like, I do agree, however, with everything you said pretty much. He has got history. And it was theatrical. However, how many times have we seen it in the Prem? I mean, we've been complimenting Mo Salah enough. I think we can have a little bit of a dig at him here because he's made a big career off doing this. Look, yes, players we've seen a history of do make things more theatrical because they want to try and convince the ref or VAR or whatever linesman. It doesn't necessarily mean there still wasn't an infringement in the situation, and I do believe there was. I think, unfortunately, your defender did give a decision to be made. I think it was really stupid. I think he was never getting to the ball anyway. Yes, it was theatrical, but I do think he gave a decision to the ref, and ultimately I do think it probably was. Because I think it was really stupid that he put himself and Young in the position where Young was able to do that. So yeah, listen, that's my opinion.
Do you think a good summary of the situation, that obviously a split opinion, is that it's sickening to concede a pen like that, but it's kind of
I'll give you that one. Yeah, for sure.
I think that because I think generally I like to think I'm quite fair, and I would be honest that if that was the other way around, and
look, it's opinions. It's opinions. Of course you are. I'd back you up on that.
Look, I think that. I put it this way, right? I think sometimes with penalty decisions, I think fans, you get the fans that think it's just they're not going to see any two sides of the coin ever. I think that there's a reason 100% of United fans didn't think this was a pen, me included, is because it felt sick to concede a penalty on a theatrical player doing a theatrical move, albeit after stupidity by De Ligt. You are totally right. Yeah. He gave the referee the opportunity to give a pen, and he gave it. But let's be honest, he gave it. And that's my biggest thing with this is, I don't know what's happened there. If the referee, when he saw it live, if he saw the shirt pull and he gave it for the shirt pull, I actually will go, okay, you know what, fine. With the VAR intervening, I think that they give it for the Maguire and they overturned it for Maguire and for some reason left the De Ligt stuff off, because I do agree with you and Liam in the respect that if he's gone, say the referee goes, they're all wired up on you hear it with Howard Webb and Michael Owen, and he goes, penalty, De Ligt, shirt pull. That's probably the communication I would have imagined. Now I'm guessing they might leak it, they might not. It maybe was penalty for Everton. Maguire has touched Ashley Young's hip, and it's a penalty. And VAR have gone, no, but look, VAR like to rewind things 10 minutes. So how they've not looked at the shirt pull, if they have looked at the shirt pull and still think it's theatrical and fine. But yeah, look, I don't know. It's horrible to concede one like that, in my opinion.
I think, yeah, it is. I think that my biggest problem with it was, yes, look, it is soft. I do just think it was really stupid and naive. And it's typical of this Man United defence, what I was saying before. It's just what they're full of. They are just full of fucking bozo moments. And I just think that was another one. But what I would say is, and which kind of does agree with your point as well, I suppose, I think the ref, it was one of them ones that either had to be given and stood with the decision, or it had to be adjudged that it was too soft. VAR should have had nothing to fucking do with that, because the ref saw it, and if the ref has seen it and he said pen, I don't know how it gets overturned, because there's no evidence to overturn it. That's my point. However, if he sees it in normal time and he has your opinion, then I've not got as much of an argument. I would, to be honest, it's one of them. If I looked at it and he hadn't give it, I'd have gone, it is soft, but I tell you what, it's fucking stupid from De Ligt there. So it's one of them. No, I don't know if I'd have said it wasn't a pen, because I'd be like, well, I just think it's that brain dead. He's put a decision into the ref's hands, and ultimately I'd have gone, he might have got away with one there. But I also wouldn't have been like, going on about it after the game.
Yeah,
it's one of them. So I just think that they made a mess of it. I'd say that's the best summary.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think that if the ref didn't give it, then everyone moves on and doesn't really mention it again. Because, like I said, there's a Cucurella one, which is way worse from weekend. It's not even been mentioned. And he actually pulls the guy back. It's not a dive. The guy actually falls back naturally. Cucurella pulls him back onto him.
This is just typical. This is what we used to do, though, with these fucking idiots.
I haven't seen the full incident. This was on Twitter, and people have gone, well, look at this. And but, I'll send it to you. You can have a look at it, obviously. Try and put it on video for the people watching this to have a look at. But, yeah, I don't like diving. I never have liked it, to be honest. And he is one of the all-time worst in the Prem. I had him at my club for God knows how many years. He's a soft motherfucker. And he goes down like that. And it's pathetic. And I would not... It's one of them. You know what's quite funny, Christian? I was watching. I was just in the lounge tonight with my son, who's my son's 4 years old, and we're starting to watch a bit of footy on TV. And the Howard Webb Owen thing was on randomly, but from last week. Okay, so it was going into some of the decisions, the Gakpo pen at Bournemouth and stuff like that, and we were talking about it. And it just actually got me thinking before we come on here tonight. It was, if that incident came on the telly, and we were talking through the Gakpo trip, which was a foul, and I was explaining to Zach why it was a foul, and whether he was understanding me or not, I don't know. And if the Young thing came on, I would have been sat there and gone, that's not what you do in football. And that's how I would teach my son to play the game. I think if Ashley Young plays on normally and the ref gives a pen, I have no problem with it. But as far as I'm concerned, you chucking your legs up like that, it's fucking pathetic. We don't want that in the game, in my opinion. And the fact that he didn't get a pen for that, I think the place I'm coming from is almost... You probably could have got one, Ashley, but your punishment for your theatrics meant you didn't, and that's all I'm trying to. I get I get your point. I sort of like where you're coming from with that angle.
Because look, it's not something we want to champion, but I think what he did was he exploited a situation from a naive defender. Well, a naive defence. We'll just leave it at that. But I do agree. I just think the thing is, you're never going to stamp out of football, because you've ultimately got a breed of young wingers.
Yeah.
Well, even all wingers. Listen, Riyad Mahrez, I am probably one of the biggest Riyad Mahrez fans. He did also do this quite often. Yeah. Maybe not as bad as Young's a fucking joke with it. Yeah. But I remember he did a few against us early on in his career. I
saw another one on Twitter, and it was the exact same leg movement as Saturday. It's both the leg splitting. Oh, it's just hot.
Yeah.
In fact, tonight I was watching it with Zach, and that it was Jota against Wolves was on. The blatant dive from Jota. He should have been yellow carded. When VAR overturned it, and look, fair play, VAR did its job in the Liverpool game last weekend, and Jota blatantly dived. And why, when he came back and he said no penalty, why did he not get a yellow for Jota? It was, I don't know,
it's weird.
Did you see it, by the way, the Jota one? It was shocking. And
I've not seen it, to be honest.
That's what made me think about it, is because when I was looking at that with Zach, I said to him, I said, he slid past him, not touched him, players dived over, and I went, that's cheating. And that's what made me think about the young thing coming on here. And look, it's not cheating.
But also tell Zach, if he happens to be a defender, don't be as fucking daft as them two idiots.
Yeah. And to be honest, I actually don't think the Maguire thing was nowhere near bad enough for a pen. It's definitely delict if it is. I actually will stick up for Maguire a little bit with that. Whether that's what it got given for, fuck knows. Maybe we'll see it on the next week on the Howard Webb and Michael Owen show, which is just hilarious, by the way. You've got to go and watch it. But yeah, United Ipswich tomorrow. We're going to be back on here. We're going to be doing a dual watch along, like we said on the City Pod. So please jump on if you can. It's a massive relegation battle with Ipswich, and I'm dreading it. I'm dreading it because we could lose. We could easily lose, and you know what they might do. I won't fucking put it past them. So yeah, roll on tomorrow.
If you do lose, and you know, just talking about that pen, that could end up being a massive decision. That point could be priceless. It's just. I'm not even trying to wind you up, mate, but
if we stay up by a point, just relegate us. I'm honestly, I said to you last week, if it got rid of the Glazers, relegate us. If it got rid of 11 or 12 of these out the squad, the same thing applies. The fucking shit.
I know. You'd end up better.
I'd just love to see Hoyland in the Championship. That'd be my favourite. Oh God. Anyway,
the jokes.
Thanks for joining us, Christian. Like I said, watch along tomorrow. Please jump on with us. It's going to be absolutely biblical. We're going to have a fuck-up-ometer in the middle for City and United, and I bet it's going to be triple figures by the end of the night. Okay.
Definitely. Can't wait, mate.
7:15, be there, be square. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, man, easy.
Cheers, Christian. Later, guys.
See you later.